Well, let's see if we've got a stream. Perhaps we will hopefully have a stream, and then I'm gonna test some stuff here. Let's see, maybe. Cheers, guys. Hopefully this will work today. It'll be a little bit of fun. I can test out some stuff. And we have the ESP32 chat monitor plugged in, and with any luck it'll come to life soon enough, and we should be good to go. If I can get everything to work, we'll see. But I just have a couple of things to do at the bench today, and I thought, well, it might be a little fun to stream and test this out and hang out with you guys. It's been a minute since we had a live stream. Looks like we've got audio, looks like we've got video, looks like we've got a stream. And oh, we have a live chat too. Check that out. Ha, it works. Oh, look at that. That is my comment from Make Me TV test. That is the first time we've used it with my own channel. I've tested this extensively with other channels. In the video on this just went live this morning, and this is using Brian Locke's API, and I'm running 2 API keys, so this will be a test to see whether it's going to keep working or not. I've let it run for quite a while, but I haven't streamed on my own channel with it. So what happens is the stream PC is behind this camera, and I can read the chat barely, but it requires me to kind of back and forth and back and forth. This, I think, we will just have available right here on the bench. I'm just feeding it from the I stole power from the DS1052E because it's controlled by one of my smart outlets, and it's on with the whole stack of equipment here that comes online. And yeah, that's working good. I'll probably not feed it from that long term, but we'll see. So I have a couple of tasks to do, and hopefully somebody will drop by and put some chat in the chat and we can test it out. I know I don't stream on this channel a whole heck of a lot, but a couple of projects. One, this is a sneak peek at a video upcoming. This will be a case for a Raspberry Pi Zero. Another YouTuber, I forget the channel name, posted this design, and I actually bought it from their Etsy. A Pi Zero W goes in here, and a cooling fan, actually one of these cooling fans that we're going to use today, hopefully will fit. Yep, perfect fit. RGB, cool. Who doesn't like RGB? And then I'll laser cut an acrylic plate. But my i3, the support material in Prusa Slicer is giving me fits. So this is my new fresh tune for support material. I'm not familiar with the settings in Prusa Slicer. It's really weird. Their support material really sucks out of the box. So this is with some huge deviations to their numbers, and I think this is pretty good. No, we've still got it. It's still attaching to the, well, it's not bad. Huh. No, it's not good. That's no good. This is, no, that's no good. This is garbage. Huh, this sucks. The rest turned out okay though. These inner ones are perfect. Yeah, they're fine. The inner ones left no goobers. It's just these outer ones that they're attaching here. The ones through the holes. Perfect. Okay, so those are perfect. That just fell right out, and yeah, there. Let me see. This camera's not working so good today. There we go. But these, that's horrible. Why did it do that? I guess I can try painting on exclusions, but man, I don't know why. It's the one thing that just doesn't work right in Prusa Slicer. Maybe somebody out there has some tips for me. This ain't good. Inside surface is perfect. The inside surfaces are coming off without so much as a goober on them. And that's perfect, but the outside smooth edge where I want this to be super smooth is no good. I could probably smooth it with my hot air rework gun. Maybe. Alexa, trigger live show.
Sending that to you.
We'll see if that gets anybody. Sorry, there's nobody coming in to test my chat monitor. I don't stream on this channel enough, so it probably doesn't help. There's not a lot of subscribers on this channel, but I don't want to stream on the MKME Lab channel for live streams anymore. It just penalizes the channel. Alright, what we've got is a Home Assistant Raspberry Pi 4 that my fan died. And there we go. I had to unhook it. The fan just started screaming in this a few days ago, and I had to kill it. And I've been running without a fan. I was hoping to use one of these, but derp, that is not the right fan. Can we adapt it? We probably could. We could drill it. That is not the right fan. I thought for sure I checked the dimensions. Apparently I did not. Okay, let's measure that and write it down. This is the right fan for here, though. Let's see. Test, don't guess. Yeah, it's perfect fit for those. Nice RGB. It's all goobered up case, so that'll be perfect. Then it'll have acrylic over this with a nice bend in it, and then acrylic grate here, and RGB lit Raspberry Pi Zero that's going to live right here on the bench, I think. I might put it to work right here. We'll see. Yeah. Well, that sucks. Okay. Measuring device. Better be 30 by, is that 10 mil approximately? Approximately. Yep, 10 mil. Don't even need to take it off. Okay, 30 by 30 by 10. Just make a note. Don't know how I got the wrong ones, but I did. Okay. We'll see. I know I don't have one because I already went through the bin. So I'll see if I can pick one up. This was, the case was definitely hot when maybe I'll just run it without the cover for now. It's been running without the fan for a week, but I don't want to run it anymore like that. Okay, video coming up. I'm gonna do a fix on that. We can do one more cool thing. We might as well live stream it. This is our notebook. This is our disky buttoned keyboard setup that I've created. and I have them all in place, but we need to make a 1 second. There's just nobody around today. We have to make a what do you call it? Not an array. Jeez. Anyway, we have to hook all of our keys together, and we need to use a lattice framework style. Jeez, why is the... I don't know why the words aren't hard. So what I figured out is this is the design we need to go with. It took me took me some doing to figure out from the code, the example code that I found, and our columns and our rows and the characters. So to make it work for this, what we're going to do is we're going to go from the diodes out to the rows, diodes to the rows, but the columns are just straight through and then off from the top. So we can probably create a couple of those now. What I'm going to use is just component leads. I got some ancient old Rat Shack resistors of who knows what denomination. We'll just use those leads, and we'll just cut them off. I have some cutoffs somewhere that I saved them, but we'll just use some fresh new ones here. They'll be just long enough at full length, so that we'll make our own little framework. I do believe we can solder up a couple now and see. I really would like to test this live chat function, but I need people for that. So talking to myself is no bueno. I need to live stream more here with you guys. The video for the live stream setup is off to a good start today. It seems to be well received. It was at like 1,000 views when I looked just before this show, so that's pretty good for one of my videos at not even like right about 12 hours. So 1,000 views is pretty decent. People like the ESP32 stuff. I think I gotta do more ESP32 stuff on the channel, perhaps. Okay, so rows and columns. Let's get rid of the Raspberry Pi. I've got the solder station warmed up. This thing warms up super fast. I love this thing. This is the one I reviewed. I went looking for a replacement iron for this with this strange quick connect. I haven't been able to find one yet, and I'm a little alarmed because I'm now really attached to this thing, and I need a replacement iron at some point. So that's a bit of a problem. I didn't expect that, and it was an oversight on my part. Usually I cover that stuff as part of a review, but I didn't go. I looked for replacement tips this time around and had no problem finding them, but I overlooked looking for irons. Get some solder. Don't remember using the last of that. Apparently that's I'm on my last roll of this Next Tech stuff. This is 0.8mm 6040 from Radio Shack, or what was the source here. Used to be Radio Shack, and it's closed now. One in my local town, and I don't even know whether they were still selling solder at the end, but this is the best solder I've ever used. This Next Tech 0.8mm. It's quite small. Good for light duty stuff. I use it for heavy duty stuff too, and I just gob it on. That's why I go through rolls of it. But this is my last roll. I'm quite sad about that. Okay, well, so be it. Let's solder up some stuff. Maybe somebody will drop by and say hi. Okay, we want to go, let's do the right side of these. So I think that will be easier. Let's tin them all. Ideally, I'd make a PCB for this. I thought about it, and I made one for the LEDs if you've been watching the vlog videos, but I decided not to bother with the keyboard just yet, because it will require, actually I wasn't good enough with the with CAD to really integrate a design and a keyboard, but now I am. Just the last 2 weeks I've learned so much in Fusion 360 and KiCad that I can definitely modify the original design files, which I have for this, and integrate a keyboard no problem now. Just need to make the time to do it. Okay, let's just tack this in place. This is a lousy tip for this, but it's too hot to change it now. Yochi. That conducts heat really well. Good. One down. Yeah, that'll work. Ideally, they need to be a little bit longer, but so be it. That'll work. This way. Let's get a something so I don't burn my fingers anymore. And at the end, I think we can make this so that it's not terribly ugly. Like if I'm a little careful with all these, I think it'll look okay. Oof, that's a stretch. Just a bit of mil shy. You can stretch that. We can bend this pin a little bit closer. Good. The best of focus. Back you off just a little bit. Does that focus a little bit better? Cheers, Timothy. Thank you. Ha! My first, Timothy, you are the first chat on the ESP32 outside of myself. This is the one that went live today, and yours is the first one other than my own, other than tests from other channels. You're the first one on this channel to show up, so yay, it works. Now I don't have to look at the computer. I can look at my chat monitor, which is living right here beside my scope. And now I can see what you have to say. Oh, love it. Woo! And it's fast. It's actually faster than the web interface. They show up on it before the web interface. I don't know why the APIs get kind of preferential treatment, but they seem to. Just the way it works. Yeah, I'm glad it works too. It's wonderful. Oh, this is great. Now I can read it. I don't even have to turn my head. This is great. I knew I was gonna love it, and I titled the video appropriately. I knew it was gonna be my favorite project by far, because I've wanted this for so long. It's been the one thing that annoyed me so much when live streaming was the lack of being able to see the live chat well. This fixes that. I need to get a bigger tip on here. This is for the birds. Come on, too low. Hot. On camera? Yep. So, just making an array for the connections on the keyboard here. These are just mechanical keys for the disky. And yeah, so far so good. I wish I had some better, just 1 millimeter longer wire than these leads from resistors, but so be it. Some raspis and a couple of screens that need something to do. Yeah, I thought about doing this with a Raspi, and that's actually what I was going to do with one of my Pi Zeros. But the problem was, for me, is I would have to figure out how to get it all set up so that it would go to my live stream. And I couldn't figure out how to get my channel ID and load, say, a web browser, a kiosk or whatever mode to go to my chat when the chat ID changes every time. And this Brian's library for the ESP32 solves that. It's exactly what I needed, and I don't have to think about it. That chat monitor turns, this is just on, it's hooked to the same, it's actually hooked to the DS1052 oscilloscope for power right now. So as soon as I turn on my workbench using my voice assistant, this just boots and goes right to my channel. And in Serial, I don't have it displayed to the panel yet. I have to edit the code, but in Serial it enunciates that the channel isn't live and then waits until the channel goes live. But all done without any intervention by me, which is the key. And that's worth the price of admission right there. I'm happy about that. No fancy scripts, no nothing. It just boots, does one thing, shows me my channel chat. I might integrate it with, because it's got a touch screen and stuff, so downrange I should mod the code and do options for other channels, at least the YouTubers that I watch, and then I can have the live stream active for, say, BitLooney's live stream or Sion's or whatever while I'm here working. Which I guess I can just like listen to the show in the background, but anyway, it's got a touch screen. I should do something with it, right? Jeez, I had way too much coffee today. And shakes. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I'm happy. Like, it's perfect. It does exactly what I want. Yeah, I think the project video is actually going to do really well. Off to a good start. I didn't go in depth in the project video of the coding or anything. I skipped over that because honestly, nobody wants to watch that anymore except nerds like me. So I just wrote up the instructions and put them on Patreon, and posted the STL file for this case and everything up there too, instead of Well, it's also posted. So it's posted on Patreon. So maybe, just maybe, people will think about throwing a buck if they're going to use it. And then I'm sure there'll be all kinds of people that are going to flame me for hiding behind a paywall and whatever. But little do they realize it's in my GitHub too. It's in my ESP32 GitHub as usual. Everything I do is given away open source, but this time I'd like to try and get a buck out of it if I can, because it did take me quite a while to make that 3D printed case, and that's pretty awesome. So you're looking at an option to use the Raspberry Pi 4 touchscreen with the 3D printer, but I'm wondering about the connection to my resin printer. Yeah, you could definitely, it'll work good for Octoprint, I'm sure. Sure, you can run Raspberry Pis love running Octoprint. Okay, that went well. Let's solder some more. Let's hack up some more perfectly good resistors that I have no idea what the values are. You know we're spoiled when, back in the day, a grab bag of resistors from Radio Shack was like the cat's pajamas, and now a grab bag of them is like a little bit of a nightmare, because I don't want to sit there and figure out what each one is, and I certainly don't want to try and decode it with the color bands anymore. So spoiled with the price of electronics now, and just having brand new stuff in the bins labeled. Takes time and money to put those projects together. Yeah, it sure does. Everything. I was lucky with this ESP32s. They were provided by Maker Fabs, because I reviewed this thing. They sent me one of these before, and this kit is so damn good for the whatever the heck it was. It was like $40 US for a Raspberry Pi Pico and display and all sensors and all kinds of stuff. It's just a screaming deal. When they said they had these ESP32 displays, and I looked at it, and they're SPI with capacitive or resistive touch, and it's ESP32S2, and I'm like, and they're right now $42 US on their site. I suspect that'll change when they get popular. That is a deal in my opinion. So I said, yep, I will definitely try making a project. And before they even arrived, I was chomping at the bit to use it for YouTube chat, because this is what I wanted for so long. And thanks to Brian Locke's awesome library, which I hope people support him, it just works beautiful. This is just like, I am so tickled with this. I'm looking over at your chat here, and this is like, it's right here, right under my line of sight while I'm working under the camera here. It's just perfect. It's just absolutely perfect. I couldn't ask for any better. So happy. And it's an item that you literally cannot buy anywhere. There is no such thing. There is, even Stream Deck can't do this. Stream Deck can't even issue chat commands to my chat. That function hasn't worked since day one. I worked with their developers to try and fix it. All they care about is Twitch. But yeah, it's nice to have. It's definitely a one-off, that's for sure. Like, Brian obviously did it when he made the code for it in his library. But Dustin did his ESP32 touchdown thing, which I may be getting one of to try too, that acts like the Stream Deck, and that's super cool. But I don't think they play the chat. Armando, cheers. Armando, how are you? How are you? Yeah, exactly. Made it work. I actually had some challenges making the code work the first night. I actually, Brian's in my Discord server. He doesn't chat in my Discord server, but he's a member. So I pinged him the night I was having trouble with it, because I basically just copied and pasted all the ESP32 code from the examples and got a basic example of my own formatted text working on the screen. And then I tried getting his code to run just through serial, and it wouldn't work. And it had this weird error like state. It was like the API calls were failing, but my API keys were fine. And even Brian didn't know what's going on, and he's like, try rolling back your board version to an older version. So I tried an older definition for the ESP32 S2, and boom, away it went. Just happy as could be. And that was after like 5 hours of banging my head against the wall. So I noted that in the code for other people, the exact version, and we should be good to go for other people doing this. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend out there. It's about -15 outside today. Here it's gloriously sunny, but hellishly cold. It's I think the air, it's so wet, the air temp feels like way colder. So good day to be in here at the bench. And definitely a good day to keep moving on this Disky project. The circuit boards are here. Nobody else is going to see this. You guys want to see something cool? Oh, cool. Okay, so the chat is matching. I was just making sure the chat matches up. You guys want to see something super sneak peek that no one else is going to see for a bit? I'll show you something fun. Let's solder this last one, and then I'll show you guys something fun if you want. It is possibly the coolest thing I've made, other than this ESP32 thing, which I'm hellishly proud of at the moment. I'm even more proud of these. And I'm finally at the point where it's pretty cool to be sponsored by a PCB house, because I'm making use of it, especially with this Disky project. I hope you guys are enjoying the vlog style videos too. 75 degrees, San Gabriel Valley. Nice. Yeah, we are nowhere near that. All right, let me show you something before we do the rest. So this will be in the, I have a vlog update kind of thing that is in the works, but the PCBs arrived for the Disky project. This is where the annunciators shine through for normal and error conditions in the Apollo crew capsule and LEM, and the keyboard sits right below this. But these are the circuit boards that I had made with SMD LEDs, and that is what it looks like. But check this out. Is that not the coolest thing ever? That is, like, I know I'm obviously super biased, but who has a Saturn V silkscreen rocket and a moon and all the labels and everything? I don't know. I'm super proud of how those came out. I know it's so dorky. It's such a simple board, and it's all the true electrical engineers are going to be like, why are you so happy about that? Because it's really just a simple thing, but it makes me pretty happy. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Awesome. Yeah, I love it too. I think that's gonna be That's gonna work just fine in the Disky project. There. Alright, just gonna touch up some of these that are pretty poor. This whole thing is gonna be a little bit poor compared to a PCB solution. That's not too bad. Like, nobody's gonna see that but me, right? That's not horrible. But now we've got to go the other way. And we've got to solder onto these and pull off from the top. And going the other way, we have to do diodes up to the rows. So it should be pretty. I have to think on it. I have to think on the design a little bit before we do it. 80 degrees for the rest of the week. Peaking to, did you say 88? Holy jeez. That's cooking. That's toasty. 88. Jeez, and we're at minus 20 centigrade. Burr. Oh well. I miss going south in the winter. Used to always get away for a little vacation this time of year. Actually, about a week from now, we usually used to go usually Cuba, Jamaica, or Mexico, just for a little getaway. Canadian thing. We get sick of the cold eventually, but wife's immunocompromised, so we can't really do that still with COVID the way it is. And our dog Riggs is he's not in the best of health, so we gotta stay home and stick with him, but that's okay. He's worth it. Okay, so that I know is a hell of a lousy. Oh yeah, San Antonio, nice. Work on a lot of projects in South Texas right now. All my days are spent remotely working on equipment in South Texas. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll come up with the diodes into the rows. Diode up into row, up into row, up into row, and then the rows will all go off to our Arduino. We'll use the Arduino Pro Micro, I believe they are, the ones with the 32U4, these guys. And we'll use that and do keyboard emulation. We should be good to go. Yeah, that should work. What I've got to do is just start assembling more of the actual Disky, but I can't do that on camera right at the moment because I need to film some stuff first. So I think we're at the limit for today. One more sneak peek. I got myself, this will show on the next kind of vlog style update video. I did the initial testing on this. I finally got myself a proper bench meter, a loose term. This is the cheapest bench meter I've found that's over 50,000 count. This is an 80,000 count meter for under $200, and it works. There's only a couple of reviews on YouTube of it, and one really good one from what's his name, the guy in South Africa. But I took a chance on it, and I'm glad I did. I love it. I absolutely love it. I should have bought one years ago, but I didn't have the money either. I kind of still shouldn't be spending it, but I'm super happy with how that works. Like, having 4 digits to play with gives me all kinds of super accuracy for small stuff, and we don't flip over to lower digits until we get to the 8-volt range. The 80,000 counts really kicks ass. So now you can get it above that 5-volt range and still have the resolution. So I'll use it for a few months and then I'll do a review on it. But for now, I love it. The only thing I don't like about it is the color is the same as the Rigel stuff, is that dingy off-white instead of the pretty white. or the pretty gray. It's really dingy colored, so that's the only thing I don't like about it. And the beeps are really loud, but it also has super fast acting bar graph, just like a Fluke. And it's the only meter I've seen that has that. This thing checks all the boxes, and I think this is a total sleeper that has gotten by so many electrical engineers because they're hung up on the Sigilants and the Flukes and whatever, the HPs and everything. This I think this is the find of the year for me. Pretty happy with it. Yeah, nice find, absolutely. Need a tour of the bench. Well, this is the bench as it sits for now. This is going to change too. Isolation transformer, a good one, good enough. There really is only good ones of that. I don't use it too terribly often, but these are the isolated outputs, and this is the non-isolated with on-off. And then my Fieldtech function arbitrary waveform generator. This is about to be replaced. Another sneak peek. One of my patrons, I don't know whether he wants me naming him, but a patron is sending me a Rigel unit, like new, used, whatever, and it is way nicer than this unit. But I like this unit. It works for me. It does what I need. And then the dual display multimeter that I just got that I'm absolutely in love with. And then my cheap WEP DC power supply that I've repaired 2 or 3 times on videos, and it's still going with my gold binding posts I installed because they broke. And then my Fluke 289, which is one of my prized possessions because they are ridiculously expensive, but I trust my life to that. And then all the other stuff on the bench, there's a lot. It's gonna be hard to focus on. Soldering iron temp tester, cheap component tester. I love those things. I use it all the time. SWR meter for 5.8 gigahertz antennas. So it's a FPV antenna tester. Cap to substitution box, resistor substitution box. These cheap voltage and voltage reference, and an LCR or LRC, whatever, LCR reference for testing multimeters. You'll see those in a video soon. Electronic load for just doing small loads. It works. They're cheap and they work awesome. Again, I've never done a video on it. Most useful tool on the workbench other than the meters. An ESR meter for testing capacitors. It is just absolutely necessary tool. Software defined radio, the HackRF. This is a HackRF clone because I'm cheap and I couldn't afford the good one, the name brand one. It works absolutely wonderful. Nano VNA, vector network analyzer, and Nano VNA V2. These are vector network analyzers for playing with RF antennas and stuff. Cat's ass. These digital tweezers, the DT71s, these are really cool too because they do LCR. These do inductors and capacitors, which is pretty cool. And then, yeah, all the other goodies. Lots and lots of goodies. Just hand tools and smoke stopper for RC stuff, which actually, I use this for a dummy load. When people are always looking for loads and stuff, good old automotive bulbs are the best loads you'll ever have, and this is for new quad builds, because if you have a short to ground, it'll just drop all the voltage of the pack across the light. But if you want to load, you just put a jumper in your XT60 connector, which you can't hardly see, and then you just hook this on and you've got a load. A couple amps, or car headlight bulbs work great for loads too. Yeah, all kinds of goodies. And laser cut box that I laser cut on the K40 with all my hand tools that I use all the time, including a little battery operated screwdriver that I'd like to update to a new one sometime. It's pretty weak, the WOW stick, but it works. And then in the previous vlog you saw I swapped my magnifying lens to a proper microscope, the one I reviewed, the Atom Star, and it's awesome. It's a great unit. So I'll try and use it to do more recordings of stuff for you guys. And then you saw the review on this solder station recently. I love it. This thing is just awesome. It's exceeded all my expectations, but I also have my Ungers since I was 18 on the bench. And then, yeah. And there's water heater and lighting and GoPros, and then the streaming PC back there. And over here, microscope. Made that this week too. That'll be, I think, in the vlog maybe next. And so I can finally have, this is actually cool. This week is just coming up my way. I got sick of this being covered in plastic all the time, and it was a pain to get it out and use it on the bench. And I'm like, why don't I just have it useful where it is? And I kind of thought about it. I said the only thing that's not useful is the fact that it's covered in plastic all the time. And like it's teed up and ready to rock at any given time to stream to you guys. And like, yeah, it's the problem. The only problem was getting access to it. So instead of that cover, I made this and 3D printed this week, and now I don't need the plastic anymore, and I just take that off and do my work. La 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 la. Done. So yeah, it's little things, right? Pretty happy about that. Yeah. Yeah, it's so if you go back in my videos, you'll see this bench was completely empty. In each video going back years, you'll see one more little thing, and none of this, there is one expensive name brand piece of equipment on this bench, and that is right there, because I trust my life to that meter, and that's what it's for. It's like, if I'm doing, like, that meter has gone up turbines with me when I'm working on 693 phase, that's the meter. But everything else on here is begged, borrowed, cheapo, sponsored, like, yeah, like the cheapest budget equipment that is still quality in my mind. Like I get along with the way Adam Savage looks at things. He says, buy the cheapest piece of equipment possible that you can get by with when it's the first time you're buying that equipment. And then if it turns out that you're good with it or need more, then upgrade. And a lot of people say that's the wrong approach. I 100% believe that's the right approach, because you'll see none of this equipment has upgraded. This is getting upgraded only because what's being given to me. Otherwise, this does the job for me. This crappy power supply I fixed multiple times, still that does the job for me. It works just wonderful. I have no issues. But so I've just never needed to upgrade. So why would I buy $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 power supply or a $2,000 scope when a $200 scope is doing the job and still working for me? So yeah, I'm 100% in alignment with Adam Savage on that and his views on untested. You'll hear him preach that kind of stuff a lot. And like ESR meter, this thing's like $30 for this particular model. I don't even think you can get it anymore. And it has fixed countless commercial equipment, because it's always the caps, right? It's always the capacitors that are bad. And I don't need a fancy LCR meter. I just need a good ESR meter to diagnose that stuff. And yeah, it does the job. And yeah, I save money by buying the cheap stuff, and this is hosed, so I'm gonna do a repair on this. Battery's hosed in it, so I'm gonna do a repair video on that later today and post it up, because battery repair videos are the highest ranked video on my bloody channel. So yeah, that's the bench. It's pretty fun. There's a few other goodies hidden around, but the majority of it, the cool thing to have is always have microcontrollers at the ready. I've learned to always have micros on breadboards and ready to go, particularly Here's another example. This bin is always sitting here, and in it, Nokia 5110 wired up, ready to go. That's just a project, that's my strobe project. But somewhere in here, buried down below, is also an OLED, one of the 0.7-inch OLEDs ready to go. And then you don't have to dink around wiring things back up. It's ready to go, so whenever you want to test out a new project, you just grab it out and go, because the components are still so cheap. And then I can prototype something while I'm excited about it. Because if I put it on the list and it goes into one of my notebooks, then that's where projects go to die sometimes. So now I'm just rambling on, but that's the workbench. That's the stuff. I think I got to think on this some more, and I got to figure out what I need to do for the diodes, what size I need. Do I work with any Arduinos? Yeah, all of them. These are that's programmed with Arduino. That's Wemos D1 Mini, ESP32 programmed in Arduino IDE. PyPico, this has got CircuitPython on it right now, but programmed in Arduino IDE. Arduino for this. Arduino Nano for the lights on the Diski. It's an Arduino Nano that hooks to this, then this. The two hook to the Raspberry Pi just through USB, and they'll run from a Python script. But yeah, I use Arduino for everything pretty much, except some basic stuff I'm playing around using CircuitPython, and I'm going to try and get into FPGAs a little bit. Tablet oscope works for me till I get a bench scope. Absolutely. I'm just looking, sorry, I'm distracted. I'm looking at the display, thinking what to do. I have to do some mods of this chat, because literally mods. You can see it tells me when a person is a mod, because I forgot I left Brian's code in for that. It says mod, and then the next line is Armando. So I need to change that formatting and change the color. I think I'll change it so it says blue, and then I'll be able to see, because on the chat you guys see a little wrench or whatever, but this spells out mod or sponsor, and I just need to format that a little different and change the color of it to make that a little bit more easy to view. I think I'm just taking mental notes here of things. I gotta mod that code up a little bit, and I think I'll make a splash screen and stuff, and I still need to figure out how to make it scroll better, but yeah, whatever. I'm glad you guys, thank you very much for stopping by and hanging out with me and letting me test that code. That's super cool. I'm really happy. Oh yeah, and on your tablet oscope, absolutely. I have underneath, I have a Handtech for using outside for automotive stuff, and yeah, it works great. Even the small ones, like on that note. So you're gonna see on the channel coming up, up in that corner you can't see, is there's a whole bunch of stuff hanging. And that's where my leads and stuff and my back probing, whatever, like my hardware hacking stuff is. Like this is a bus pirate for checking, for teeing into circuits and doing hardware hacking. But what's also up here that I have yet to do a single video on is the best electronics diagnostics tool I have ever seen under 10 bucks. These are a $3 logic analyzer, 8 channels. And these work with the multiple different softwares, the SIGROC software, the Sele original software. And this, you can do full 24 megahertz, which is crazy, logic analysis. So you can use it as a scope, basically, at least for logic level stuff, for like $3. And it comes with a USB cable. The only thing, you have to usually make your own probes and stuff for it, or pay a couple of bucks more. But these things, they're bloody fantastic. So you're going to see a little bit more of that coming up on the lab channel, because I have a new piece of equipment showed up for doing JTAG hacks, and I have a switch that I need to hack and I need to fix, and in order to fix it, I think I have to hack it. So yeah, we're gonna try some hardware hacking here. Anyway, long story short. Yeah, no Nightbot. Yeah, you're right. Just eBay for those. Yeah, those are just eBay. I think it's in my recommended lists on my Amazon stuff, linked in the description down below. There'll be recommended parts, and it'll definitely be in there too. Right on. Or unless you're talking about the JTAG one, the JTAGulator I got, it came from Adafruit. I got it this week because I had to buy a name brand that, like, it's not something that's cloned, and I want to support the creator of it, and it's a pretty cool tool. That's actually, I'll give you guys a sneak peek of that. Check this out. This is the JTAGulator. This allows you to do hardware hacking. Why is that mirrored? Oh, it's not. This allows you to hook right on and do UART or JTAG or a bunch of different hardware hacking on unknown devices. This does it for you. You just hook everything up and say, what are you? What are JTAG pins? What are UART pins at what speed? And this allows you to query the device and figure that out. So I'm going to make a nice laser cut case for it. I've already got the files, and yeah, that's going to be pretty fun. That came from Adafruit this week because everywhere's out of stock, including, I think, the original designer of this. He had a video pop huge last week on YouTube, which reminded me to order it. But everywhere, like, he sells it, I think Mauser and a bunch of places, and they were all out of stock. But Adafruit still had stock. Cheers, Andy. Oh, I'm just about to head out. Just missed you. But anyway, that's going to be a lot of fun. Because I have an actual use case for it, because I have that network switch that I got used, and the network switch, well, here, I'll show you guys. What the heck, we'll show you all the sneak peeks. This is the 3Com baseline switch. I got this for 40 bucks off of Facebook Classifieds because I needed a new, larger network switch. I have two switches right now on top of each other, and I thought this will be great. I figured, what could go wrong with a switch? It works, but it's only half. It's not like it's not in full duplex, so it's not working. And I'm like, well, it has a web interface. I can't find it. I can't connect to it, and the software the web page requires the software to configure it. And I'm guessing somebody's got some wacky configuration on it. And the 3Com software from HP is long gone. I can't find it anywhere on the net except for like a couple completely hacked versions that are clearly malware. So I'm gonna JTAG it and see if we can get in there and figure it out. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. Whatever, like, I'm already hosed down it anyway, right? So might as well learn something. Did you see Late Ada project on floppy drives? Yeah, a lot of floppy drive stuff lately. It's pretty cool. I wasn't really into it at first, and I didn't think much of it, but now that I think on it, I think it'd be a pretty handy utility to have. Why not, right? I do have some old floppy drives with some old text files on them from the old bulletin boards, so maybe I'll build one. But yeah. Anyway, well, fans were a bust. Got the wrong fans. The rest went good. And then I'm going to start doing some surface mount LEDs for the Disky. And you guys will see a whole behind the scenes video come live next Friday. I think that'll be a vlog style video Friday, and then the week after will probably be the video on this. Check this out. Did you guys see this in the in the update videos. This is like, again, one of the most underrated cool things I have gotten lately. This is just bloody awesome. This display, this is the Nextion display, and this is programmed with my Apollo Disky code that will make things print out and look like the Apollo Disky. And check that out. Is that not awesome? That just, and like these are going to display the actual numbers in that text. The original designer did this work in advance, and that is the Nextion display that I just got from Amazon that I'd never tried, and oh man, I'm so happy with that. That is gonna look so cool. And then the enunciators live right beside it. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty awesome. Cheers. FidoNet. Cheers, Johnny. Cheers, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it, I think, for today. I got some things I need to get done, and I'm glad I got to use my chat client. Usenet. Oh man, I'm not the oldest guy around for once. All you old timers making me look young. No, never mind. I'm old. That's cool. I never actually ran a BBS. That was the only thing I didn't do, but I sure played on them. That was fun times. Good times, guys. All right, cheers, guys. Have a good one. Great hanging out with you. Hit me up in Discord. Drop by the Discord later, or